Once again, you know who it is. It's the Will and Russ Sports Podcast, episode number 20. And I'm Russ, aka the Prophet.
And I'm Will, aka Will Stradamus, ready to come back at it again.
All right. So we're gonna tackle a lot of football today. So
Absolutely.
college football, professional football. We're gonna recap what just happened this past weekend, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna basically we'll start with the NFL because it was the closest thing to today. So we'll start with yesterday's game, and then we'll revert back to Sunday's games, and then we'll dive into Saturday's college football notable games. So
Okay.
yeah, we'll do it like that. And I tell you what, Russ, well, let's just you know get right on it, man.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yesterday's game, um,
Lions Packers.
yeah, Lions Packers. That game was very, it was a good game first and foremost. It was an entertaining game. However, the referees reared the ugly heads, man, in that game. What do you think about that game, man?
Yeah.
I'm all over the map with that. I got
Yeah.
so many different things to say about that game. But
I mean,
go.
everything you said, it was a good game. I mean, well played game, but the refs, I mean, I don't know. I think they played too much of a big role in that game right there, and that was a bad call. You know,
Yeah.
so
Russ, they had several bad calls in
yeah,
that game.
yeah, more than one. Yeah.
Yeah, in a lot of it in the Packers' favor. A lot of it,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
you know. And I don't know, man. My thoughts on this thing. I don't know if one we got to they got the NFL has to do something about these refs. Something
They
has
have
got to.
to. They have to, man. They're
I don't
making
know.
terrible calls.
Yes, and the thing about it is when they make these calls, some of these calls are you can't challenge it, you can't
No.
review it, you can't it like for example, Russ, that illegal hands to the face call on Trey Flowers, uh
Right.
basically to end the game for the Detroit
Right.
Lions, lose
Right.
it. They apologized today, saying, "Oh yeah, you know what, we're sorry, we
Yeah,
should
but it's
have
too
not
late.
called." Right, right. It's okay. Well, let me ask you this, bro. What is your thought on if that was such an egregious call and it changed the game, okay, and it changed the game in that it lost the game for the Lions,
Right.
basically. Do
Right.
you do you think do you think or what's your, this is my thought on this? I'd say you know I say this. I mean, this is probably unrealistic, Russ, but I say they should redo that down. I mean, you know what I mean? Go talk to the league.
Bring them back out onto the field, and they just play
Yes,
and then play one more time.
yes. I mean,
I mean,
I don't know what else to
still
say,
people
man.
won't be happy. I mean, people still would not be happy about it.
Yeah,
Either
it
way,
won't be. Won't-
whoever loses wouldn't be happy about it either way.
right, but they won't be. But I don't. I'm at a loss for words on how to do this refereeing thing, man. Because this thing is so inconsistent. It's unbelievably inconsistent.
Because if we start reversing plays like that, hey, Dez caught it. That was we should have been to the Super Bowl that year.
Well, yeah. I mean, right. It's man. I'm telling you, I don't know what else to say, man. That was a great game, though. It was very entertaining. It was. Aaron Rodgers did his thing. Uh, Matthew Stafford was doing his thing. It was a
Right.
competitive game. It just happened to be ruined by refereeing, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. So, I mean, hopefully, hopefully, honestly, man, I don't know what to say about these referees, bro. I'm at a loss for words. Uh, you know, now look, there was a statement that came out from the league today saying, "Oh, fans, please be patient with us. We're trying to get all these different calls and everything corrected." I'm like, listen, man,
What
what's that?
I said, whatever. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like, nah.
It's ridiculous. It's a debacle. That's what it is. It's an embarrassment. You know
Right.
what I mean? It's you can't do that. You're a professional organization. You've been in existence for over 100, or basically 100 years, and you're
Right,
trying to tell me you can't get refereeing corrected by now? You know what I mean?
right,
If you can, Russ, let's here's the thing. If the NFL can basically look through a camera and have a Bluetooth earpiece and basically talk to the league office during the course of the game, because that's what they do. When they look at replay, they talk
right.
to the league office, which is the league office is watching the games, okay? And they
I
got
feel
guys there watching the games. They
yeah.
talk to them and they say, look, what do you think about this play? And then the league makes this determination, and then the refs, either change the call or uphold the
You saying
call.
somebody should have stepped in and said, "Hey, look, this is the
Yes,
wrong call." Yeah,
exactly,
they should be
exactly.
able to do that no matter what.
Yes, exactly. That's my thing. At least do that. Don't say, "Oh, well, it was a call, and you can't dispute the call. It once it's called, it's called." Yeah, that's ridiculous, man. They play too many. They don't play enough games to overcome that. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
You,
right.
you only have 16 games. You
Exactly,
don't have enough games to overcome that. So if you lose a game, you're falling back in the eight ball. You know,
exactly.
it's ridiculous, man. So that's my thoughts on it, man. The referees are just. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, Russ, but the flags now this season has been overwhelmingly in abundance. You know that, right?
Yeah, they have. They have. I've noticed it watching the games.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've definitely noticed it this season.
yeah,
It's
it's a flag after every play.
it's frustrating, man. Watching it.
Oh my God,
You can't
jeez,
even enjoy the plays,
you can't.
because
It's ridiculous, man. I mean, Roger Goodell. By the way, first of all, when is his contract over? You
they
know what I mean?
remember they just renewed it a couple years ago, like
That's
a
right.
year or two ago.
That's right. Oh my goodness. Because I'm tell you right now, Russ, I don't know how you feel about that. He has been just a disgrace since he
Yeah,
took over.
yeah,
From for being a commissioner. He has been.
yeah.
From Paul Tagliabue was in my opinion, he was an excellent commissioner. I liked him.
I
Uh,
think too.
yeah, but I mean, Roger Goodell has been just horrible.
I agree.
So, unbelievable. So, but we're football fans, so you know what? We're not gonna stop watching.
I mean, yeah. Nobody's saying
You
that.
know,
Yeah,
we're
I'm
not
gonna
gonna stop
keep
watching
watching.
them.
Yeah.
Right. So exactly, it's not. That's not enough to make me stop
Yeah,
watching.
yeah, but yeah. But we can have our opinion.
Right. Right.
Uh, I agree with that, man.
So
So
look, um, let's go back to Sunday now. Let's revisit some of these Sunday games. Let's start
yeah,
with the Sunday night game. Um,
the Steelers and Chargers.
yes. Again, Russ, what do we always say about the San Diego Chargers?
They always disappoint you when you
Oh, good.
expect them to do something. They don't. They don't play up to that level that you expect them to. And then when you ready to write them off, that's when they gonna string off like 5 wins in a row or something.
Right. Right. And this is exactly what we were
Make the
talking about.
playoffs.
Both of us called it. I mean, think about this. The San Diego Chargers, this is the second loss in a row, but they lost to Pittsburgh Steelers with no Ben Roethlisberger,
Right,
no Mason Rudolph. They lost to a third string quarterback,
right,
okay? Basically a second string running back in James Conner,
right.
you know? No receivers really. It's embarrassing for the Chargers, man.
And
Philip Rivers,
they couldn't run the ball. The Chargers could not run the ball in that game.
yeah, they couldn't run the ball. Philip Rivers loses his cool. He starts jacking up one of those Pittsburgh Steelers young corners that was making fun of him, talking trash after the game.
Oh, don't throw two picks.
Right. You know? Did you I don't know if you saw it, Russ, but he literally
Yeah.
collared him up and was pushing him away.
And Phillips a fire. That's a fiery dude too, though.
Yeah, he is. He
Philip Rivers.
is. Oh man, this Chargers, man, they I don't know what to call it with those guys, man. They got so much talent on that team, year
Every
in and year
every
out.
year, yeah.
You know,
On both sides of the ball.
both sides, and they got an excellent quarterback. Philip Rivers is an elite
Oh yeah,
quarterback. I don't.
Yeah,
For
he's a
some reason,
springer.
I don't. Right. I don't know what's going on with that team. I don't know. Can it be coaching?
I mean, they didn't run the ball at all. They were terrible on the ground.
Horrible.
They had Gordon and Eckler. It seems like since he's come back, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
He hasn't. It's gonna take him a while to get it going, I guess.
Right. I mean, is it because maybe he took too long of a layoff? You think? Or
Of course, yeah, I think so.
wow, wow. He should have just came in and start playing from the get go, man. I mean, he was gonna get paid, man. Eventually, you're still on your rookie contract, so Melvin, you were gonna get paid, bro.
Right.
So I don't know, man. San Diego Chargers are, you know, San Diego Chargers are one of the most bipolar teams in the NFL. You know what I mean? Seriously, one of the
Right.
most bipolar. You know what I mean? So on the flip side to that, though, Russ, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who I picked to win that NFC, I'm sorry, that AFC Central, AFC North division, they're not winning that division, Russ, but they're competing their butts off. That's all I can say. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. They are. They starting to play better.
Yeah, they're competing their butts off, and which leads me, speaking of the AFC North, which leads me to the Cincinnati Bengals.
All right,
Your
let's.
thought?
What game we talking about? I thought we were gonna go in order.
Well, I'm not. We're just talking about any game.
I mean, we can talk about the Bengals and the Ravens. I mean, it was a close game.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
Bengals made it interesting at the end, at least.
all right. Well, let me ask you this, Russ. Let me ask you this. So, are the Bengals still winning the division?
I don't know, man. It's looking dim. It's looking dim, man. It's looking dim. Redhead Kingpin,
Oh.
the Red Rifle, whatever y'all want to call him. He's
The
no
red.
touchdowns, and then you still throwing picks. It's They can't run the ball either.
They can't run the ball. They can't. But you know, here's the thing, Russ. With that, the fact I think you and I touched on this earlier in our podcast, Russ. One of our podcast, our early on podcasts. Remember, we was talking about the fact that Joe Mixon to me. I don't know how you feel, but I think you and I both agreed on this. Joe Mixon not a true, you know, 20, 20 to 22 carry a
Yeah,
game guy. I don't think they can. He's that type of that style of running back. You know what I
I think
mean?
he's more of a West Coast offense running back.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
More of a scat back, but he's a little
Yeah.
bit bigger though. But he's not
Yeah.
he's not big though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right. But he doesn't. His style of running is more suitable for that West Coast.
right.
What's the name? Roderick Craig type of. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah. The Cincinnati Bengals. I tell you what. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say they're not gonna win that division.
Yeah, I mean, 0-6 is kind of like what argument can you have for him? You know.
And I'll also say this for myself too. The Pittsburgh Steelers are not winning that division.
Yeah, we
So
both were wrong on that on winning that.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Well, I tell you what, Russ, let's stay in that division. The Cleveland Browns. Your thoughts on that?
On the Cleveland Browns. I mean, I don't know, man. They're just another team that you still don't know what to expect from them either. But I would have picked Seattle to win this game anyway. You
Right,
know, but Russell Wilson is looking good,
right.
and the Seahawks are able to run the ball as well.
Yeah,
At least they sure did against the Browns. They were running the ball on them, and putting it on the air. They had them off guard like the whole day.
Right.
And Baker Mayfield on the other side, that's why I spoke about the quarterback play with
Yes.
Russell Wilson
Yes.
and how good he's looking. And Baker Mayfield is making Jameis Winston mistakes. He's making and, and I mean you can't you know you're not gonna win a lot of games when you're throwing multiple interceptions every game.
Yes.
You know,
Yes. And
so
Russ, by the way,
that's what Baker's gonna have to clean up, and I think he will in his career. Like I don't think like
yeah.
he's going downhill or nothing. I just
Yeah,
think
I'm
that
with you on.
he's still young and he's gonna have that's gonna be what his task is in his career to clean that up. To clean up the interceptions and the turnovers and and then ball out, and
Yeah.
keep getting better, keep sharpening his skills. So, but other than the turnovers that he throws, he does play well at times. He
Yes.
shows you the potential basically
Yeah.
that he has, and I still love Nick Chubb though.
Oh yeah,
You know,
Nick Chubb is there is a baller, man. He's a beast, man. I tell you what, right now, the best thing for Cleveland right now that's happening for them is Nick Chubb.
yeah,
You know, Nick Chubb is the best thing they got going for them right now.
absolutely,
You know, without Nick Chubb, I don't even know if they, man, I don't even know if they compete really because Nick Chubb is I mean, he's a reliable running back. You know, he's a game breaker. He's just he's a beast, man. So they're lucky to have him. Um, but based back on what you were saying as far as Baker, I'm with you, Russ. I think Baker Mayfield still has a bright future. Um, you know, with the fact of him turning the ball over at an alarming rate right now, it is a concern. But and you know what? Even more of a concern it is, Russ, is because he's playing with receivers that are upper echelon.
right, right,
So that's kind of alarming, to be honest with you. It's like, wait a minute, you're playing with, some damn good receivers. It's not like you're playing with, guys, you just got off the street. You know what I
right.
mean? You're
Yeah,
playing
he's
with,
got some talent around him, and you
yeah,
got a running back. That's why I said the only thing he's got to do is just clean up those
yeah,
mistakes.
right,
Got to
yeah,
study whatever you got to do to figure it out and not make those same mistakes continually, and he'll be all right. You will be
right,
okay.
yeah. And plus, Russ, I think Baker got off the wrong foot, man, when he started criticizing Daniel Jones and
Yeah, yeah,
Lamar
I
Jackson.
agree. I
You
agree.
know, you got off the wrong foot doing that anyway. So I don't. Yeah, that was just so uncalled for, and he looks silly now. You know what I'm saying? The fact that he's underperforming, um, the other guys are doing pretty well that he was mocking. So
Right.
you know, yeah. So
So
I don't know, man.
let's
But
let's let's
yeah,
take care of the elephant in the room. The Cowboys and the Jets.
no, 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 no. That's all right. We'll save that for last.
Oh,
Not
you want to
last.
say? Why you want to save it? Let's get it in right
No,
now.
let's save it.
Come-
No, because I got another issue. Uh, uh, over the pond, right overseas, Russ. The Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay Bucks. Yeah.
We were just mentioning.
Jameis Winston. Yeah, he went back to his, old habits die hard, I guess.
Russ. I mean,
I mean, he threw for 400 yards, but five picks. We were just talking about Baker Mayfield. You know, one touchdown and five picks.
Russ, Russ.
But
That's what I'm
but
saying,
you
man.
got 400 yards. You got to get it in the end zone, bro.
At
With
least, at
400
least,
yards,
at least twice, Russ.
right?
You know, I mean, Jameis was bad. Jameis again. Again, this is where me and you were. We do agree on this. Jameis has to be consistent. You
Yes.
know what I mean? That's Russ. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you a question. And true. Be honest with me on this. Do you think if let's say if Jameis Winston is on the same on the path that he's on, meaning that his inconsistent play lasts all season, dare I say, do you think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers look for another quarterback?
It's possible, man. But nah, I don't think so because Bruce Arians and them, I think they'll stick with Jameis. You know.
Think so?
Yeah, I think they'll stick with Jameis.
Hmm. Okay. I mean, like I said, man, I like Jameis. I do. He's turned his life off the field around for the better. He doesn't have all that issue right now going on in his personal life, so that's a good thing. It's just, I'm just I'm pulling for him. I want him to I want him to succeed on the field and be more of a consistent performing quarterback. He's very inconsistent right now, and that's killing his Buccaneers. That
Right.
team is talented, it's killing, but
Yeah.
it's killing guys, man. You know,
Yeah.
it's killing them, man. Uh, what other? I
I
mean, all
mean,
right,
but Kyle on the
um,
other side though, Kyle Allen played well in that game.
yeah. Again, another good game from Kyle Allen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
And
um,
McCaffrey, and the thing is, McCaffrey got shut down,
yeah, exactly,
but
and
Allen was still able to play well and win the game.
exactly. And you know what? And Russ, I said this a couple of weeks ago. I said, look, you know what? I think Cam Newton has played his last down
I know you've been saying it every week since then.
yeah. I think he's played his last down in Carolina. I really believe that. Um,
Yeah,
I could be dead wrong, but I doubt it. I think Cam Newton's done in Carolina. I
he
really
could,
do.
man. He could be. I think he's gonna
Yeah.
end up with the Redskins, but we'll see.
Here you go. The Redskins. Well, speaking of the Redskins, right? They won a game. They
It's
won.
the Dolphins, man, and that's all we got
I'm
on the Dolphins Redskins game. Nah.
Well, all right. I'll tell you what. You're right. They beat the Dolphins. But Russ, did you see the game when the Dolphins almost came back and won the game?
The Dolphins should have won that game, man. Yeah. You think you should have gone for two?
Um, I mean, what do you think? What do you think? I don't know about that. I'm on the fence on that. What do you
Uh,
think?
I mean, I guess it's one of those things. If you get it, you're a hero. If you don't get it, then you're a zero, I guess. But
Exactly.
they didn't get it. So
I think here's my
could
opinion
they have
on
played
that.
it out? I don't know though. I kind of think they should have played it out though too.
Yeah,
Tied it up
yeah,
and played it out.
played it out. That's what I think too. It's eventually, yeah. Um, Here's my quick opinion on the Redskins, and you can give yours, I guess, and we'll move on, bro. Um, I think the Redskins are making a huge mistake not starting Dwayne Haskins for the rest of the way because number one, they're not going anywhere. Number two, you have to find out what you have with Haskins. You
Oh, they
can't
still
just
got
say.
they still got time to do that though, don't you think?
I mean, yeah, are they waiting until they're mathematically eliminated? Is that what it is?
I would think if the way they've been playing it, if they're smart, which they haven't proven that they are, but if
No,
they're
not
smart,
20 years.
they're they're preparing Haskins right now to do that, to do just that, but maybe he's not quite just ready yet, you know, and
But Russ, you and I both
they
know.
don't want to throw him into a mess.
I mean, the best. Here's you know what they should have done that this week against the
You're
Dolphins,
right. You're right though. There against the Dolphins would have been the game to do it, right?
right? I mean, yeah,
What if,
I
what
understand.
if he goes out there
You know,
and he what if he had gone out there and played horrible against the Dolphins and they lose the
that's what I'm saying.
game?
Now, but you know what? Now you know Now you have a book on him. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
You have film saying, okay, this is what this guy does. This is what he does best. This is what he can't do. He's showing us that he's not ready and da 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 da. But
right,
I understand they didn't play him against New England. I wouldn't have done it either because New England would have eaten him alive. You know what I
right.
mean?
That's why they didn't want to play him the first 5 games.
Right.
Everybody saying because it was a tough schedule for them.
Right, right, and that's fine. But I'm saying with my at least with Miami, put him in there, let him play the
Yeah,
whole.
I agree with you there. Yeah, they could
Yeah,
have played him against the Dolphins,
yeah, let him play the whole game. I mean,
especially since he was. I mean, I know it was the former coach, but he put him in that one game, brought him in. I mean, he didn't do anything, but you remember the game where he
it's the
benched?
Giants. Yeah.
Yeah,
When he looked horrible against the Giants, threw
yeah,
3 interceptions.
yes, against the Giants. Yeah,
Right. But see, that was one of those games, Russ, that it was one of those come in at halftime or whatever it was, and
right.
just you know, he should have a week of preparation, get all
I
the first
agree.
team reps. You know what I'm saying? And then,
They should have done
you
it for
know,
the Dolphins game.
yeah, they should have done that for the Dolphins game. You know, it's a game that you possibly could, you could you guys they were favored in that game, Russ. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? They were going into the game, they were favored by 3 points, and yeah,
right,
they won. You know, I really think they should at least start him because at the end of the day, you need to find out what you got with him. You need to find out if you're gonna keep him or let him go. Period.
right, right.
You know. So I don't know. Maybe they'll do that later on, like you said, down the line. You know. So speaking of another game in Florida, Russ, the New Orleans Saints and the New Orleans Saints and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Your thoughts?
I mean, low scoring game, but
Defensive game,
it's a defensive game, and in those type of games, I mean, it play those are Bridgewater type of games, Teddy
right?
Bridgewater type of games, and it's playing right into his hands because that's he can manage a game like that all day. You give him a defense, you
Right.
know, they're playing the way the Saints are playing defense right now. They're playing good defense. I have
Yeah.
to give them credit.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were gonna be this decent, you know,
Me neither.
but
Especially defensively. I didn't think they was going to be this good defensively. I really didn't. They're shocking me right now, to be honest with
yeah. The Jaguars, I mean, I don't know. They're thinking next year already. We just had breaking news about the trade
you.
for
Right.
Jalen Ramsey.
Yep.
Um, so I don't know, man. They were at home too.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I think with that,
Bridgewater's
I mean,
balling though
yes.
for
You
the
know how I
Saints.
feel about you, Russ. You know how I feel about Teddy. It's well
I know.
documented. I'm a Bridgewater. So I'm an apologist for him. I'm a fan. All that. You know what I mean? The boy is just he's so I call him steady Teddy. He doesn't get too high when they win. He doesn't get too low when they lose. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? They've been winning with him. Teddy. Here's the thing: Teddy can manage the game, or he can win a game for you. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, I
right,
believe he can go out and win a game for you. He's not
right,
going to kill. He's not going to lose the game for you. I can tell you that much. Teddy's not
right.
going to throw you. He's not going to give you 5, 6 interceptions or whatever, or 3 interceptions. He's not going to do that. He's either going to win the game for you, or it's going to be a hard fought game defensively.
Right.
Maybe something that will happen on special teams or whatever you have it. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Saints on
congratulations.
the roll, man, with Teddy.
Yeah, no doubt. Congratulations to them. They're winning. They're looking good. The defense is playing lights out. Right now, I'm shocked at that one. To
Yeah.
be honest, I really am. I mean, you and I both talked about the Saints offense. I mean, you know they had offense, but defensively was the issue. But man, the way they're playing defense is like, wow. When Drew Brees comes back, holy moly.
Right.
You know, um,
And I'm speaking of Viking quarterbacks or Viking quarterback, as we were speaking of Teddy earlier.
right?
How about Kirk Cousins putting it on the Eagles?
Yeah. Okay, Russ. I'll go
Three
ahead.
threw for 300, four TDs and a pick.
Right.
Come on, man.
Listen,
Cousins, is he finally getting over that
no, let me tell you why.
hump? He
I'm gonna
said it
tell you why.
fast. He
I'm
said
gonna
it
tell you.
fast.
I'm gonna tell you why, Russ. The Philadelphia Eagles came in to that game with a banged up secondary. Okay, they had 3 starters that were out. Three. Okay, their secondary was banged up. It was atrocious. they but had a bunch of second string guys in there and third string guys, and Kirk Cousins did what quarterbacks are supposed to do to defenses that have
So
that.
you give him no credit.
No, I give him credit for winning the game. I actually do. I give him credit for going out there and performing, and putting the ball in the and he was very accurate
Yes.
yesterday. He was very accurate. I give him that. You know, he was very accurate. Uh, to me, that was due to the fact that our receivers got open quickly, so it made it easier for him to spot them open and deliver the ball accurately.
So
I
you
mean,
don't give
hell,
him any of the
Stephon
credit.
Diggs, right? Stephon Diggs was just running. I mean,
He said right.
Stephon Diggs was running free. I mean, like a runaway slave. You know what I mean? I mean that dude was all over the field yesterday. I was like, what the? And at one point, Stephon, he was so wide open, he caught a touchdown, turned around, and kept looking at the dude, and while he was like going towards the end zone, I mean, he stared the dude down like the
Yeah.
corner fouling him. Put it this way, Russ, the game was perfectly suitable for Kirk Cousins to win. Because the
Right.
Eagles came in with a banged up secondary. And I believe he took advantage of it. I'll give him credit for that. He had a great game. So kudos to Kirk Cousins for that. Now, next week is Detroit. So, and we'll make our predictions tomorrow with that. So I'll
And
touch on
next week
that.
is Cowboys for the Eagles.
Yes. So I guess let's go ahead and address that elephant in the room, as you would say. Now, yeah, no, wait. I'm sorry. Let's go up to Kansas City real quick, and then we'll get to Dallas.
All right.
Kansas City's got an issue, right? They got defensive problems.
And what has changed?
They got 99. They have 99 problems, and defense is number one.
Right. Always is.
Yes, them dudes can't stop a nosebleed, bro.
Right.
I mean,
It's a good game though with the Texans.
yeah, it was. It really was. But I mean, Deshaun Watson sliced them up.
Yeah.
Um, wow. Where Oh, all right. In your opinion, where do you think Kansas City ends up towards the end of the season? Now that we've made, I know we've made our predictions and everything.
Are they gonna
I
make the play? They're gonna be in the playoffs.
Okay.
Um, but they're not going to the Super Bowl or anything like that.
Yeah, they're
I
not.
got them in the playoffs for sure. I think they're a playoff team. You know.
Yeah, they're a playoff team because I mean, they're a playoff team. They're a playoff team.
Yeah. Their offense is too good not to be a playoff team.
Right, right, and plus with San Diego being bipolar like they are, and
Yeah.
Oakland being inconsistent,
Right.
you know what I mean? And Denver just being bad. I
Yeah.
don't know, Les. So I tend to agree with you on that. I think Kansas City will
But they
they'll
can't
make the
stop
play.
the run though, man.
Yeah,
They cannot stop the
cannot
run.
they can't they can't and that's a bad omen right there, bro. Because once that uh postseason gets here, you're playing nothing but good teams, nothing
Right.
but good teams. No, you're not running into Denver every week. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Or you know some piss poor like the Dolphins every week. You're not running into teams like that. So,
Right.
but Kansas City's got some issues. Um, let's move our way down to Tennessee Titans, bro.
Oh, you want to go to the Titans?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go to the Titans. What's happened with the Tennessee Titans? I mean,
I know, man. To put up a goose egg against the Broncos that we just were talking about is, but they both 2-4 teams, and what they're looking like, that's what they are. They are what you are what you are.
yeah,
And
you are what the record says you are. You're right.
right,
You picked them to win the division, right?
yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
And Tannehill ended the game, right?
Yeah, he did actually. Mariota got benched.
Yeah.
Wow. Your thoughts on that? I mean, did you have him as like your MVP or something like that?
I see what you're doing there. I see it. All right, but yeah. I mean, Mariota, you were saying it though before the season started about him that just like Jameis, same thing with Jameis. They had to step up. And the thing I didn't count on was the inconsistency from their run game. You know,
Yes,
they're not running the ball like I thought they would.
they're not at all. Eric Henry, I think he had like 40 yards rushing or something like that.
If he even had that,
Right.
So I don't know. Like that's what's disappointed me with them is that I thought that they would run the ball a lot more efficiently, where it would help Mariota a lot more.
Right.
Because then
Right.
you can get him out on the edge. Little bootlegs and things like
Right.
that. But the run game isn't doing anything. So it's play action is not working. It's not.
Right.
It's too far in between when Henry has a good game. And I'm not saying it's his fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
Derrick Henry, but they're not running
Now,
the ball well.
let me ask you this. Um, they brought in Ryan Tannehill. He looked terrible.
Right,
Um, do they? I mean, I guess if they're going to go back to, uh, Marcus Mariota because Ryan didn't give them anything to, open their eyes about. So
right.
I'll ask you the same question I asked you earlier about Jameis. If Marcus keeps being inconsistent the rest of the way, do you think the Tennessee Titans are looking in draft for another quarterback?
Yes.
Okay, I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean they
I
just benched him.
Yeah, I agree with that. 100%. 100%. Because you cannot. I mean, at this point, Russ, in your career, you've been in the league 5 years now, and you're getting benched. I mean, you know, it's the writing's on the wall. You know what I mean? In my
Yeah,
opinion,
yeah. And the
right?
difference with him and Jameis is that in Jameis' situation, I think those guys believe in Jameis a lot more than maybe the coaching staff with Tennessee does in Mariota.
Right. Right.
You know,
Yes. Yes.
not saying they don't believe in Mariota at all. I'm just saying I think that Jameis Winston maybe has a little bit more of a rope. You
Yeah.
know,
Longer leash. A longer
longer leash.
leash.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. I believe that too. I agree with that. I
yeah,
agree. I definitely agree with that. Yeah. That was you know that was I was shocked. I'm not shocked, but I, Marcus Mariota to me is it's just he's a great kid. He's even a good leader, I think. But man, you got to perform, Marcus. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's very inconsistent. I mean, he's starting to be very inconsistent.
Right, right. So
Always been very inconsistent and injured too at the same time.
yeah, exactly, and that exactly. That's why I'm with you, Russ. I think we could be seeing the last few games here of Marcus Mariota as a starting quarterback in the National Football League. Now,
Right.
I'm not saying. I'll tell you what. I think he'll be. I don't think he'll be playing with the Tennessee Titans next year. I don't. I don't think he. I don't think him. I don't think Cam Newton's going to be playing with the Panthers. You
They
know what I'm
all
saying?
gonna be in the Redskins lottery.
Yeah, right. And you know what? I think I think Jameis Winston will have one more year after this to prove himself. And if
I
he
could
does,
agree with that. I mean, because another year is a long. That's a
yeah,
lot. That's a good.
yeah,
That gives you a lot, really.
yeah,
Even though it's one season, you still have a lot of chances that to clean it up.
yeah, exactly.
The
So,
rest of this season and next season, I could see that with Jameis.
right, exactly,
But I think
exactly.
Jameis will get it together though.
I hope so, man. I like the kid, man, but man, he's
Yeah,
got to
I
tough.
thought Jameis was better coming out the draft anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I
Better
did
than
too.
Mariota. Yeah.
Yeah. Um. All right. Well, let's make our way up to New England, Foxborough. The Patriots beat the Giants. All right. Now let's make our way down to Dallas.
We're not even gonna touch on the Patriots beating the Giants.
No, it's not even worth it, bro.
It was
I tell
interesting
you what.
early on in that game, though. It was 14 all.
Yeah, you're right. My bad. My bad. Okay. I tell you what. I'll tell you what. Daniel Jones is the real deal. I believe. I believe he's the real deal. He's convinced me that he's a starting quarterback in this league and potentially an elite quarterback in this league.
Right, right, right.
Potential. So yeah, that's what I believe. So I'm sold on him for that. Um, I will say this though, Russ, on the Patriots, their offense is struggling.
Yeah, Brady's struggling.
Yeah, Tom is Tom is struggling, bro.
Right.
I don't know what's going on with that offense. Maybe
I know. I know. You know how statistician Stanley's gonna come in and be like, well, Brady threw for 300 yards. It's like, okay, but
right,
if you watch how he's playing, it's not. That's not the best Brady that you know what I'm saying. You could if
right.
you watching the game, the eye test will tell you that Brady's not saying he's playing horrible, but
No, he's
for
not.
Brady, for what we know about Brady,
Right.
he's struggling a little bit. You know,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
for what we know about him.
Yep, exactly. So I completely agree. So, but again, they're the Patriots, Russ. So whatever, whatever, you know what I mean? Like whatever's said about them is like taken with a grain of salt because they're the Patriots. You know, you know what I'm saying? Them dudes, when come playoff time, something just happens. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
So I'm not gonna write anything about them, gonna say anything about them. I'm not gonna, have any second thought. I'm just gonna leave them alone. I'm, Lord, hey Russ, I'm just gonna leave the Patriots alone.
I hear you. I hear you.
You know what I mean? Good Lord, man, them damn dudes. What about the San Francisco 49ers, Russ?
Hey man,
Yeah,
the Niners are looking good, man. They got the
man.
Rams scattering for trades and stuff.
Yeah, right. They made the Rams trade. They made the Rams trade away a player and gave away some.
Gave away the house.
Yes. Oh my
Desperate.
goodness, man.
We say desperation.
Yeah, that's desperate. I'm sorry. That's desperate. I mean, two first round picks and
Right.
another in the fourth. What? Wow.
Man, he not Dion.
Right. You know what I mean? I know he's went to Florida State, but good Lord.
Right. Nah,
That's
James. I mean,
Hall of Fame.
Ramsey's a beast too, though. But yeah, he's not prime time.
Yeah, he's not prime. No, no. Come on now. I mean, like you said, he's a lockdown corner,
Yeah.
but Deion Sanders was an alien. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Right. Right.
yeah, I mean, Deion wasn't human. Jalen is a badass, but
Yeah, he
shit,
is.
Jesus Christ, man. I mean, the Rams is like, you know what? Okay, Niners, thank you all for opening some eyes. We're gonna go ahead and make this trade
Right.
happen.
Right.
Wow. Well, I mean, speaking of the Niners, I mean, what do you think about those guys, man?
The Niners.
Yeah.
I mean, Garoppolo is doing his thing. Not looking great or nothing, but he's
Nice.
he's managing the game and coming out with W's.
Yes. Yes.
And they kind of got like a running back by committee thing going on, but
Yes.
you know
And
it's
it's working.
working. I mean, it's working so far.
Absolutely. And that defensive guy is that they,
Yeah,
especially the
yeah,
defensive line is solid, man.
yeah, yeah. They
They
getting in the
got
backfield. They getting sacks. I
yeah,
mean,
they got some grown men on that defensive line, straight up.
yes, sir. Yes, they do.
Good Lord. I mean, one of them, Buckeye, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, I mean, you guess so.
Yeah,
Did
if
he
you
go to
said
Ohio,
so.
did he go to Ohio State?
Yeah, he did.
What's his name? I'm just curious.
Go ahead, man. Say his name. You got it. Go ahead. 'Cause you know every Buckeye like for the last 40 years, man.
Oh goodness. Nah, but honestly though, those guys are loaded, man. Him,
Yeah,
uh, DeForest Buckner. You know, Russ. They've been drafting defensive line in the first round for like the last 5 years, so they better.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Good grief. Um, yeah, Niners looking good, man. Niners are looking good, definitely, man. So are the Seahawks. You know, Russell Wilson. I think, I think your MVP pick is right on. I think we both picked him for MVP, right?
Yeah.
Russell Wilson. Yeah, man. He's. I think he's gonna win it, man. I really do. Either him or maybe Christian McCaffrey. I know he's up. His name has come up a few
Yeah.
times for MVP.
But I know one guy's not gonna be up for MVP playing quarterback. Since we
Who's that?
were talking about the Niners and Rams game, Jared Goff threw for 78 yards in that game. Man. How you throw for 78 yards in a game that you're behind in?
Right. He did the
When you're
opposite.
behind, you're supposed to throw more. Like so, how you end up with 78 yards?
Right. He went backwards. I mean,
Wow.
seriously, you don't. That's that's hustling backwards. I mean, you know, that's an oxymoron. Like you're down by a lot, but then you got only 78 yards. How you supposed to
Right.
have 78 yards, possibly on 2 plays,
Right.
and he had it in the whole game. Are you kidding me? Holy moly! Wow. Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think Goff is he's what do you think about that guy, man? I think he's a
I told you. I don't believe in golf. Um.
I think he's a system quarterback. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think so too.
I think that system fits him. But when you can rearrange some things around him and put a little pressure on him, I think he just folds up like a
I
used
agree.
library book.
I agree.
Yeah, so I'm agree with you on that on Jared Goff. That whole gravy train, I'm done with that, man. You know, I mean, again, the system he's in is making it work for him. You know what I mean? So, but Russ, I don't know if they there's a possibility it could not make the playoffs, Russ.
Yeah.
Because
I think
Todd
that was
Gurley,
my wasn't that my prediction
I think so.
that the
It is,
Rams wouldn't
yeah,
make
I
the
believe
playoffs.
it was. Yes, I had him making it, but as a wild card, I had him making it, but as a wild card. But I'm with you. I think you know I, you might be right. I think your prediction sticks, man. The way they're looking bad, and now Todd Gurley's banged up.
Right.
Uh, you know, yeah. So,
I mean, I
what?
will say this though. I gotta say this. Aaron Donald is still a beast.
Oh, absolutely. There's no
Still a
question
beast.
about that. No question. Absolutely a monster. Absolutely. I'm not taking anything away from that man.
Yeah.
You know, absolutely.
He still brings it.
Sure does. Yep. Yeah, on the West Coast. But I tell you what, let's move over to the East Coast, Russ, and let's go let's go up into the Meadowlands. Um, the Jets were at home versus the Dallas Cowboys. Your thoughts, Russ?
No, your thoughts. You've been holding on to this. Your thoughts. Nah, I mean, I think the game was. I mean, it kind of as far as on the Cowboys end, they played like how they did the week before. They played
Right.
like garbage in the first two quarters,
Uh-huh.
you know, and then they start playing after halftime. But then it ends up being too late. The kickers missing, you're missing field goals. You're kicking 62 yarders and 50 yarders and missing like shorter field goals, 30 yarders. So I mean, I don't know. That was a debacle. That game was a debacle.
I,
Seriously,
I,
you
I was
lose to
waiting
the Jets. You lose to the Jets.
to a guy who just had mononucleosis his first
Right.
game back.
I mean,
Um,
we can. I can understand the losing to the Saints and the Packers. Those are teams that are going to be contenders, obviously.
right,
So
right,
okay, I can understand. You lost some couple close games, fine,
right,
but nah, not to the Jets, man.
right,
Not to the Jets. It's very disappointing, and you know, hey, they made Sam Darnold look great. He played well.
right,
Le'Veon Bell did a little thing, little
right.
something. Um, and their defense played well
It did.
at times.
It
You
did.
know,
Yeah. Okay. Well, with that said, Russ, what is your opinion? Do you think Zeke has do you because I'm looking at I don't think Zeke is running too hard. Like he's not running hard, Russ. I don't think Zeke
nah,
is, you know what I mean? It seemed like he got paid and he's kind of like, okay, I'm good now. Like I can cruise my way through the
no,
season.
I noticed this weeks ago, but the thing is, my the way I look at it is with Zeke is I don't think he's trying to just cruise. I don't think he's trying to do that. I think he's trying to put it all out there. But same thing we said about Melvin Gordon earlier. It goes for Zeke, even though Melvin Gordon was out longer,
Right,
but Zeke also was out too, and you got to get back into football, speed.
right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You got to get back to football speed, and I don't know if that's what it is. If Zeke just hasn't gotten his legs back under him yet, getting back
right,
into the rhythm. He started to look like it in this game, though.
right.
The way he was running the ball, it looked better than what it did last week and the week before to me.
Yes,
In this game, how he looked, just how he looked. You
right,
know, um, so maybe it'll continue to get back to to the level. We still haven't seen the level that what he got paid for. And I'm not trying to mention the money thing. I'm just saying the level that made him feel like he deserved to get paid. I should say.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we haven't seen that level yet from Zeke, but I know it's in him. I mean, we know it's in him. He's gonna do it. I think he will do it, but I just think he's just getting back into the rhythm of things, and it hurts when you lose your two left tackles too. I mean, your left and
yeah.
your right
That's
tackle,
true.
both of your starting tackles, your left
That's
and your
true.
right. You
Good.
know,
That's a good point. That's a good point. I completely agree with that. Yeah, that
yeah,
does have something to do with it.
yeah. But I also think that yeah, too many times I think I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I've seen him getting tackled on the first hit. You know, but then
Yeah,
he still Zeke. But then he'll still show Zeke, and be that dive forward running back that's gonna pick
right.
up three or four regardless.
Yeah,
So
falling forward, no doubt.
falling forward, yeah. So I mean, that's why I said I'm not panicking on Zeke. I think it's just something that he's got to get back into the full rhythm. He got to get back to being 100%. With
Right,
it, not on the injury wise, but just as getting back into the feel of the game. And I
right,
think once he does that, I think he's starting to. Like I said, he looked much better in this game to me. Um, and we're gonna need him to really be at that peak performance against the Eagles. Coming up.
right.
So,
Yeah.
what's your
Now
take?
I think I don't know. I had to answer that question because some he does look he looks like he's not running hard enough to me. That's me personally. But I wanted to ask you this also. I know you're not panicking on Zach. Now, are you a little bit? I know you're not going to panic on Zeke, but as far as Dak is concerned, are you in like what? I wouldn't say panic, but are you concerned about Dak?
No, no, I'm not concerned about that
Okay, all right,
because I just think Dak will get it. He'll figure it out.
right,
You know, he'll figure it out because he's that much of a competitor.
Yeah.
I think he will figure it out. He'll get better, and there's been other things in the past where he came up with his game and he had to fix, and he was able to fix it and move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
So I think he'll stay in that same pattern, and will do it again. Whatever it is whatever obstacle that comes his way, I think he's gonna attack it. That's
Yeah.
just the type
No
of
doubt.
player he is. So
No
that
doubt.
that's why I'm not worried about Dak, because there were times in when he was his second season, even the first season, I questioned, but I don't question him. I think Dak is a winner, so he's
Right.
gonna do whatever he can to try to win the game. I feel that way about him. So, and I'm not worried about Zeke either. Like I said, because I think he'll get it together. But if I was gonna say who I would be more worried about the two, it would be Zeke.
Hmm.
It would be Zeke. But no, I have no worries about Dak at all. Um,
Yeah.
I think
I
Michael Gallup is balling like I said he would too.
yeah.
He just getting back from injury, and the kid catches everything you throw to him. You
Yeah.
know,
No doubt. I I think I tend to agree with you. I think Dak is he's a pro. You know what I'm saying? Dak is a pro. Um, he's mature. He's a pro. He's a competitor, and I think he will bounce back from this little mini slump that you guys are going through right now. I do.
right,
I believe he'll bounce back because he's like I said, he's a pro. He's mature and he's a leader. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Yeah, yeah. So I yeah, I agree with you on that. I think he'll be okay. I'm not worried about Dak either. To be honest with you, I'm not worried about Dak. Dak will be okay. Dak. It's not like he's Cam Newton. You know what I mean?
right,
Where he has a very 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 fragile psyche. You know what I mean?
right.
So,
You had to find a way to stab at Cam again, huh?
usually I want to call him Candle Newton because all you gotta do is blow on him and
Candle Newton. Wow, wow.
so. But anyway, I digress.
Speaking of speaking on quarterbacks, what about Matt Ryan, man? What can you tell
Uh,
me about Matthew Ryan?
Here we go. Oh man. Wow. Where do I start? Matt Ryan is starting to get that stigma, Russ. You know what? I'm not even going to say start. He's got that stigma of he. You know what? Matt Ryan is Kirk Cousins. That's what he is.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's what he is. He's Kirk Cousins. You know what I mean?
And he just
Yeah.
the the crazy thing is he just had his best season I mean his best game of the
Yes.
season, and they
It,
still
it,
lost.
and they
They
still lost.
still lost. It's
Yes.
like
Yes.
it's
They
like
did.
what did we just really watch Matt Ryan in a shootout with Kyler Murray?
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
You know what I'm saying? And Murray won it.
Well, now, Russ, to his credit, to Matt Ryan's credit, the kicker missed the extra point, which was to tie the game.
Yes. Yes.
But but I understand what you're saying. Why
Right.
even be in a shootout against Kyler Murray?
Right. The
You
the
know,
Falcons on paper are a much more talented team than, at least it would seem on paper, than the Cardinals right now.
absolutely, absolutely. I 100% agree with you on that. It's on paper they are, Russ. On paper they're borderline an all-star team. I mean, seriously,
Right.
those guys are uber talented, man, at every
Right.
position. You know, so
I
it's like,
told you they were going to end up at the bottom of that division, though,
yeah, you did say that. I know,
and
yeah.
and they're fulfilling that prophecy with their horrible play. I mean, Matt
Yeah.
Ryan. What about him? I mean, you asked the question about Jameis and Mariota. What about Matt Ryan? Matt Ryan's been in the league longer than them.
I know. You know what's going to happen with Matt Ryan? I don't think anything will happen to him this year or the next. But here's the thing: depending on how next year goes, I'll put him in the Cam Newton. I'm sorry, not Cam, the Jameis Winston category. I think Jameis has one more year to prove it, and I think Matt Ryan has another year to go through, and to try to prove it. And
Right.
if Matt Ryan comes out and puts up this performance that he did this year, if he
Yeah.
does that next year, I think it's the writing's on the wall for him, Russ. So basically, there's two quarterbacks that I will put into the I guess the hot seat, if
The
you
hot
will. I'm saying,
quarterback hot seat
yeah, the quarterback hot seat for next year. Matt Ryan and Jameis Winston. Absolutely.
and Mariota.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, my bad. Yes, Marcus Mariota. Hell, I mean, Marcus. You know what? Marcus Mariota's in the hot seat this year.
Right. Yeah. Right. Right now, not even this year,
Right.
just right this
Yeah,
minute.
exactly. He's in the hot seat right now. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So he's got to get it together. Because Russ, I truly believe that if he continues this, I mean, there's 10 games left in the season. Let's say 6 out of those 10 games, if you're inconsistent, like how you've been, oh
Yeah.
man, they're looking for another quarterback, bro. They're looking
Right.
for another quarterback. I'm sorry.
What about Redhead Kingpin? He could be on that list too.
Yeah, there you go. Bingo. Exactly. The red rifle, I mean, he's shot himself in the foot, no pun intended, a lot,
Right.
so we'll see. Yeah. I just got a text, Russ. The Nationals advanced to the World Series. So congratulations to
So,
them.
all right. Okay, Nats.
Yep. World Series participants. Looking good.
That's what's up.
Yes, sir.
Gotta give the Washington fans something to cheer about. I
Yeah,
mean, the
exactly.
Mystics.
Exactly.
Mystics just hey, shout outs to the Mystics, just going back
Yeah,
to
right.
back,
Shout out to the
back
Mystics,
to
baby.
back.
Yep. Congratulations, girls.
Yeah.
At least you guys can do something and win,
Right.
congratulations, girls. Uh, yeah, man. The Nationals sweep the St. Louis Cardinals 4-0 to win the pennant in the National League and go into the. They're going to be playing the winner out of New York Yankees versus the Houston Astros. The Houston Astros just beat the Yankees tonight, so things looking pretty interesting now in baseball. The Washington, there's a team from Russ. There's a team from DC in a major sports championship series. Wow.
Wait. Two teams from DC in championships in like a week's time, but the Mystics just won.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, wow, the city of champions?
Right.
Nah, 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 that ain't the city.
Nah, they still got the Reds and the Wizards.
Nah,
Wizards have the
so
Wizards have a better chance, to clean it up than the Skins, though.
oh Lord, yeah, I agree with you on that.
Hey, pluck them.
Goodness. Yeah, exactly. Pluck them. That's right. You're right, baby. Pluck them. You got ruffle them, pluck them. Jesus Christ, freaking Redskins, man. Um, any other games that we missed?
Nah, we touched all the NFL games.
Oh, okay.
We got to
Well,
get to college
let's
football.
on Saturday. Saturday, there was some pretty marquee games Saturday, man. Florida
Yeah,
LSU.
Florida LSU.
Yeah,
LSU is. What do you let me? I want you to tell me. What do you think about LSU, man? They put it on Florida.
Russ, me and you said this numerous times during our podcast from early on in the year. If LSU has a quarterback, which they do now,
They do
they might
now.
win the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If yeah, if LSU can just get a consistent quarterback play, they win. They will win a championship. Seriously,
hey, that
and
kid,
that's
that
what's
kid
happening.
was on fire against Florida.
Yeah, and that's what's happening, bro. That's what's happening. I mean, Joe Burrow from Ohio, the state of Ohio, um, former Buckeye.
Oh my. Not anymore. He's a Tiger.
No doubt, yeah, he's a Tiger, but by way of Ohio State. So anyway, Joe Burrow has transformed the Tigers into straight up playoff contenders, legit.
And the
You know
thing
what I'm
I
saying?
like is they got the run game going too.
Yes,
You know.
yes, absolutely. So you know, Um, Russ, to answer your question, they might win it, man. They
They
might win
got a
it.
good chance, man. I mean, they got a good chance. They ranked
Yeah.
second now. I mean, they got receivers like Chase and Jefferson. They balling. You
Yes.
know, I
Yes,
don't
man.
know. Got the run game going, and Burrow is on fire, man. He's spreading the
No
ball
fire.
around. He's making good decisions.
And he's playing against SEC, defenses, good
Yes,
one.
yes,
Florida, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Florida has a very good. I mean, Russ, I'm telling you, I will not be surprised if LSU wins the national championship this year because all they needed was a quarterback. I mean, seriously, they literally they just
Right.
one consistent
For
quarterback
years. Yeah,
for years.
right,
Yeah, exactly, for years. We talking about over 10, 12, 15 years. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So they've got it, man. They have got it. So LSU, kudos to you guys, man. You deserve to be number one. You know what I'm saying? I mean, number two. You know, um, um,
Maybe number one.
yeah, exactly. I tell you what. Moving up to Alabama. Okay, Ross. I'm gonna just, you know what? I'm just going to say it. Texas A&M is trash. Okay, I, I was singing their praises before the season began, and all it did was disappoint, disappoint.
I didn't think they were gonna be as good as you thought, but yeah, Alabama put it on them
Yes, they did. Oh my goodness gracious.
in their house, in their house.
Yes, in their house. It's I had high hopes for those guys, man, because number one, I like the fact that what they were bringing back this year. Then I like the fact that Jimbo Fisher is their coach. He has a championship pedigree. So I liked all those pieces of, that added to that puzzle. But for some reason, uh, yeah, they're done. They're, you know, the 12th man is now the ninth man because,
Right,
you know, they're done. They're finished. So, Alabama's just been cruising throughout the season. So,
right.
Alabama will be in the playoffs.
Oh
Because
yeah,
why? I'm gonna leave this question up to you. Why do you think Alabama will be in the playoffs from the SEC?
because they're probably gonna go undefeated.
Really? Now you think
Unless I mean, unless LSU can beat them.
right? That's the big question. But so who's coming out of the East then?
Um,
Georgia?
I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to lead me into the Georgia South Carolina game, aren't you?
Well, I mean, if you must, go ahead, please do the honors.
Georgia, man, you can't. They're playing like the Cowboys. They're giving away the first two quarters, and then they want to start playing. Then
Right, right. And Russ, it was a bad omen when against University of Tennessee, Georgia was down 14-0. I'm like, wait
yeah,
a minute.
yeah.
I mean, come on, really? And then Russ, I just knew.
That's
I
another team that's very talented too. Stack, man.
you know what? They're not even playing like the Cowboys. They're playing like the whole state of Atlanta. Okay,
Wow.
Braves. Okay, the Braves got eliminated in dramatic fashion. They were up 2 games to nothing in
Right,
their series and lost.
right,
Okay, the Atlanta Falcons. We already spoke about them. Okay, now the Georgia Bulldogs. I mean, they're playing like a typical Georgia professional team,
right.
which is bad.
Yeah, they got to get it together, man. Fromm threw his first pick in that game.
It was first pick, ended up with three.
Right.
South Carolina was unranked at Georgia, which is man,
At
Russ.
Georgia makes it 100 times
Oh my
worse.
God, that's a devastating loss for Georgia. I'm serious.
Yeah, that is.
Oh
That
my
was a
God,
huge
you lose
loss.
like that at home to an unranked team? Are you kidding me?
Right.
I mean, damn. Wow. So the beat goes on for that for the teams out of the state of Georgia, man. Something must be in the water over there. I don't know. They
Right.
keep losing and losing and losing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, on the other hand, though, one team that I know you don't like too much because you think they're overrated. They got off the schneid this past weekend.
Michigan.
Yes, Michigan
Yeah.
played Iowa. Um, it was a very closely contested game. It was, I believe the score was 10-3. Michigan, I mean, it could have gone either way. It was a big time defensive struggle. You know what I mean? Um, Michigan, Iowa has an excellent defense. So I can kind of understand the low scoring. However, I'm telling you right now, the next Michigan's next opponent, um,
Wait, I thought Michigan played they played Illinois.
no, they didn't play Illinois. No. Michigan played Iowa, the Hawkeyes.
Okay.
Yeah, as far as I know, I mean, right?
No. Penn State played Iowa.
Oh my goodness! You know what? You're right. You're so right, Russ. My bad. My bad. You're. Oh my God. My apologies, Russ. You're right. I'm thinking I was for some reason I kept having that yellow stuff. You're right. You're absolutely right. Penn
Penn
State
State
and
beat
Iowa.
Iowa. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, well, this let me just rephrase my statement then. Um, Michigan almost lost to Illinois.
Well, they ended up blowing them out though, but
Yeah, it ended up late. They ended up
late.
blowing them out
Yeah.
late. But
But they struggled though.
they did because they were up what 21, I think 24 to or 28 to nothing,
Right.
and Illinois came roaring back,
Marching back.
for 25 straight points.
Right.
So, oh my God, you know what? You're never mind. I take They didn't bounce back. I'm sorry, Michigan did not bounce back. They
Right.
didn't. They're still Michigan right now. You know what I'm saying? They're winning by the skin of the teeth to teams that they should be easily beat. You
Right.
know, um, unbelievable, man. Russ, I'm telling you right now, that's who they got coming up. They've got Penn State coming up. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking about. They got Penn State, but yeah,
Yeah.
you're
Penn
right.
State just beat Iowa.
Yeah. Penn State took care of business at out. Now I will say this: had Michigan played Iowa, Michigan would have lost. Or
Right.
did they? Didn't they already lose to Iowa? No, it was. I'm sorry,
Nah,
they
they
lost
beat Iowa, I
to
think.
Michigan,
No. They got whooped by Wisconsin. Yeah.
Wisconsin. Yeah, Wisconsin whipped them. Yeah, they haven't played Iowa yet, but
Yeah.
if Iowa played Michigan right now, Iowa beats them. I'm 100% on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that Penn State Iowa game was tight. It
That
was
was a
very
good game.
contested. It was. It just goes to show,
Contested.
man, Penn State is legit. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
you go up in Kinnick Stadium in Iowa in Ames, man. I'm telling you, that's a tough place to play at night. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they went there and they shut Iowa's offense down. Nate Stanley didn't do much. They shut their Iowa's running game down. Um, you know, yeah, Penn State is legit, and that's who Michigan has next, going up in Happy Valley on Saturday
Right.
night. So now, Wisconsin, on the other hand, um, Wisconsin played Michigan State, um, and basically shut them out. Now, what was we were saying, Russ, before the season began? We were saying Michigan State, they're kind of like LSU. They have a great defense,
Right.
they have quarterback issues, and it came back to rear its ugly head. Now,
Yep.
Wisconsin had,
Wisconsin is beasting, man.
yes, man. Oh my God, bro. Them dudes, that defense they got. I mean, dog,
That defense is serious.
serious. They've got 4 shutouts out of 6 games.
Right.
I mean, damn. It's wow. Okay, so my beloved Buckeyes got some work cut out for them. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks.
Right.
Um, but yeah, man. you know, Penn State, Iowa. Penn State, Iowa, and Wisconsin. Those teams right there are very hard teams to beat, man. So, but I mean, Wisconsin just keeps rolling. Um, Penn State, had a signature win on Saturday night. So
Yeah, big time. On the road too.
yeah, that was a big time win right there by Penn State.
And
Michigan,
what about Notre Dame and USC?
Notre Dame, USC. Okay, remember earlier in the season, Russ, when we were saying for all right now, okay, let me preface it by saying this: when we before we made our predictions for the season for college football, right? We were
Yeah,
saying USC was going to be pretty much vanquished, they're going to be done,
yeah,
right?
right,
And then they came back and started winning, and we were like, they're looking all right. They
right,
might change some things in the Pac-12. Now they've lost three in a row.
right. But they still playing well though.
Yeah,
You
they
know what I
are.
mean?
I'll give
Like
them that.
they were competing against Notre Dame. You know,
Word. Yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true.
so they are in the right track. But yeah, they're not ready yet. They're not on that level yet
No, they're not
that they
ready.
want to get to. No.
Exactly. So with that said, let me ask you a quick side note. What do you think comes out of that Pac-12? Honestly, man, because so I'm confused now with the Pac-12. Who do you think wins that conference?
I don't know, man. Washington. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Exactly. That's my point. It's like you don't know who. Yeah.
But
Um.
Washington, not too long ago, they lost to Stanford last week.
Yeah. Uh, Oregon, I guess, right? Or
Yeah, Oregon. It's
you.
up for grabs, man. It's up for grabs.
It really is, bro.
Yeah, Oregon's probably the best team in that division, but they don't seem like they're unbeatable either. So
Right. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, hell, you even got Arizona State.
right.
I, it's just, man, this is a wild year in the Pac-12. Man. I will say this though, Russ. I don't think the Pac-12 is gonna have a representative in the playoff. I really don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, it's I mean, you got Oklahoma coming out of the Big 12. You
Right.
might have two SEC teams or two Big 10 teams. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's yeah, and of course you're gonna have Clemson in there because I don't
And
care how they look. Nobody's
yeah,
beating Clemson. I'm sorry.
right. And speaking of Oklahoma, the Oklahoma Texas game, man. I mean, they had some good games this Saturday.
Yeah, they did. Yes, yes, they
Yeah,
did.
Oklahoma beat Texas. Like, what's your thoughts on that game?
I think it was a competitive game. However, Jalen Hurts is proving that he is probably the best dual threat quarterback in college football right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The boy's throwing the ball well, man.
Yes,
His
he
arm,
is
his throwing motion has
running
improved.
the ball.
Yeah, he's running the ball. I mean, I mean, Russ, he's juking people. He's making people
Yeah,
miss.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's not just running by them. He's making them miss.
Out there
So
looking like Vince Young a little bit.
exactly. So I'm like, wow, okay. Um, the boy looking good, bro. He looking real good. So Oklahoma is another scary team. The only question like I have about Oklahoma though, Russ, is I think their defensive secondary can be picked apart a little bit. I think
You've been
you know,
picking on their defense, man, but their defense is doing okay.
yeah, no, it's doing okay. It's doing well. I think by and large, the defensive front is pretty good. I think
Yeah,
that's the strength of their defense, is that
and
D
that's
line.
what holds it down for them. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. But if you can hold up against that D line, you can pick them apart because their corners are not very strong, honestly.
I'll
I'll
give you that. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So, but
yeah. Their secondary is not as strong. Their front seven is what they're the best at.
yeah, yeah, that's the strength of that D. So, but I mean, I definitely expect Oklahoma to be in the playoffs coming
Yeah,
up this. I think we might. Now I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this now, Russ. I know we're not making predictions today, but I will say this real quick. I think we're either going to have two teams out of the Big Ten in the college football playoffs, or two teams out of the I'm sorry, the SEC.
I think it's going to be two teams out of the SEC.
You don't think so?
I said it will be the SEC,
Oh, it will be them. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, it could be. Yeah, absolutely.
which is not a hard pick to make right now. The way
No,
with
it's not.
Alabama and LSU,
Yeah,
you
it's not.
know,
Yeah, it's not. It's not at all. No. So I don't know. It's we'll see. We'll see what happens. See what happens.
yeah. I mean, it's still a lot more ball to play.
Yeah.
So see what happens with Penn State and those teams. I mean, they're rising up.
Yeah.
Lot of those, some of those Big Ten teams are moving up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
see what happens with Clemson because they're still at third.
Yeah. I mean, Clemson. A lot of people are ragging on Clemson's offense right now. They're talking about Trevor Lawrence is not having his typical
Yeah,
Trevor Lawrence season.
right.
I'm not, Russ. Honestly, I'm not worried about Trevor Lawrence, man. I'm not. No, I think he'll be all right. I think
Yeah,
Clemson will be just fine. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I think he'll be just fine, bro. So
So it looked like we pretty much touched. I know we did all the NFL, and it looks like all the big games. I mean, Clemson destroyed Florida State. We know. Uh,
yeah.
you know,
By the way, I know I asked this before, Russ, but what in the world has happened to Florida State, bro?
I don't know, man. I mean,
Oh God, Jesus. I
yeah,
mean,
such high hopes, man. Such high hopes for Florida State this year, and it's
man,
down the tubes. It's down the drain.
Russ, about 7, 8 years ago, Florida State Clemson would have been, I mean, a
A huge
marquee match.
game. Yeah.
You know? Wow,
Not right now.
damn. That's sorry, sorry, Florida State fans, but you guys are the
Horrible.
Bama of the week. week,
The
week.
Bama of the week.
Jesus Christ! Wow, unbelievable. Yeah, I think we pretty much covered it all, man. Tomorrow we got our predictions for
Yeah.
NFL and college. Oh, Russ, I want to touch on one thing before we close out here. Simone Biles won like
Yes. Thank you for mentioning that.
medals
Yeah. My
overseas.
daughters would have been on me if I didn't remember to say something about Simone Biles. Yeah.
They've won.
Glad you
She's
said that.
won like yeah. Let me ask you a question. Is she the greatest gymnast of all time?
No.
Okay. Ooh.
Reason why I say that is because I think that she's one of the greatest of all time.
Okay.
But I think that the thing that makes Simone so great, I mean, she does everything so well. You know, she does everything so well. But you know, gymnastics is broken down into into different events. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like her major event. The thing that really sets her apart is her the way she can her leaping ability.
Right.
That's what helps her to do the twist and all that stuff. That's what's amazing. So I think she's the greatest at that. You know, I don't think anybody we've seen any gymnast that can get up in the air like she does. Her elevation is amazing. You
Right.
know, and I mean, but she's one of the all. She is up there. She's in the argument for all
Right.
time great. But there's been so many gymnasts. You know, Nadia, the Russian lady back in the days, was the one that
Yeah.
had a perfect score. You
Yeah.
know, yeah,
Bonici. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yep.
yeah. We've seen some great ones, and I think she's just another one of those. And I mean, she still has more to write. You know, because she's gonna probably go to another Olympics. I'm thinking after this one, even. You know,
Yeah.
so there's a chance she could do it. Gabby did it. You know.
Yeah.
So we've seen some great. I mean, from Mary Lou Retton, Dominique Dawes, you know, Gabby Douglas. We've seen some great ones, and she's just another one of them. But
Right.
the thing that makes her so great is, like I said, her elevation is amazing.
Right.
You know, you and that her floor routine is sick because of that. You know,
Yeah. No doubt.
yeah, she can vault too. I mean, she's well rounded. I'm not saying that she's only good at that one thing. I'm
Right.
saying she's well rounded all the way, and that's what makes her all time great. but
Yeah,
I wouldn't say she's the greatest. It would be. I think there's a lot more to be said about that one. You know, because you got to be great in all. You know, and there's been some gymnasts who were really good. I mean, on all events.
yeah, yeah,
You know, so that I wouldn't say she's the greatest, but I don't mind the accolades she gets because she deserves it. I mean, she is one of the all time greatest. The stuff she's doing is amazing.
yeah. No doubt. I mean, I guess the reason why I asked that particular question was, I mean, the amount of metal that she's accrued. Yeah, that she's,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
a bunch of them. I think she set the world record for medals.
yeah, yeah. She
You
did.
know, so it was like, wow, okay. You know, I was very impressed by that shit. Simone is a beast, man.
She's a beast, man. You know, she's a
Yeah, absolutely. Now let me ask you that your girls, that's one of the people your girls definitely look up to, right?
Oh yeah, they like Simone. They
Yeah,
definitely follow Simone. They know all about her life, but they so in depth with gymnastics. They follow all of them. You know,
right.
they got. I don't even think Simone is either one of their favorites, but
Hmm.
she they're one. She's one of their favorites, but I
Right,
don't think either one of them. She's their main favorite. No.
right, right. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, man. So yeah. So we pretty much covered all that, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Um, I guess
Good to be back.
tomorrow's prediction day.
Yeah.
We'll find out who's doing what's going on. There's a particular game I'm very interested in. There are going to be actually some really good games coming up on Sunday and
Yeah.
Saturday. But in particular on Sunday, Sunday night will be a very key game in the NFC East. So we definitely gotta,
Oh
you
yeah.
know,
Big time. Hey, that game is it. I mean, it's pivotal. You know,
yes,
it's
yes,
that it's gonna tell the whole story of who's gonna win that division. I think is down to this. It's come to this game.
right. America's team got a good game too. They play the Bills,
No,
I
that's the game
believe.
we're talking. That's the game we're speaking about against the Eagles. You know, that's why it's prime
Oh
time.
no, Russ. They play the Bills. The Patriots play the Bills.
No, I'm not talking about the Patriots. You said America's
Oh,
team.
okay.
I thought you were talking about the defending Super Bowl champions. I got you, but not America's team. I got
Oh, okay. All right. My fault. I maybe it's a typo. I don't know.
you. Yeah,
Um,
big typo. Get
all
some
right.
white out.
Get some whiteout. Okay. We'll do. Some whiteout. All right. On that note, man, we gonna reconvene tomorrow,
Yes.
folks. Thanks for tuning in for our 20th episode, man. We've come a long
Yeah.
way. We love doing this
20
thing.
episodes in.
Yes, absolutely. We love doing it, man. Tune in tomorrow when we do our prediction for the week for the NFL season, as also the college football weekend coming up. And we're also, Russ, I don't know if you want to do this, but we can do our World Series championship predictions if
Yeah,
you
let's do that.
want to
Let's
do
do
that.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is time for it.
yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. So
And
and then we
prediction.
maybe
It's prediction Wednesday anyway. So
yeah, it's prediction Wednesday, and then since the NBA preseason has already kicked in, so maybe we can do some maybe
let's
divisional
start talking.
predictions
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. We got to start talking about some NBA, man. It's on the. It's around the corner. You know.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll get into all that tomorrow, man. Thanks for tuning in again, folks. We love you
Yep.
guys. If we ruffle any feathers today, you know the old saying.
Pluck them.
Peace out.